Hey there, wrestling fanatics! How the hell's everyone doing? I'm doing great. This is Wrestling Podcast, episode number 47, the 4th of July special. I have a guest here for the first time ever. Go ahead and plug your social media and all that great stuff.
First time ever, Ryry. This is like historic right here. So my name is Mike O'Donnell. I'm a proud member of the Road to WrestleMania group that you heard from Jennifer Devereaux on last podcast with Ryry. You can find me online. I'm on Facebook. I believe it's facebook.com/MikeOD86. I'm on Snapchat. That's MikeOD86 well. Check there. I'm somewhat active in the Road to WrestleMania group, and I'm always up for anybody that's looking for a good place to talk wrestling with a different kind of group of people. That's the place to go, right, Ryra?
I don't know, is it? I'm kidding. Well, there's other wrestling groups on Facebook, but I don't know how I got involved in this group, but I'll discuss that off the podcast. Okay, first thing first.
Yeah.
We all know that today is 4th of July, so that is awesome. I cannot believe it's the 4th of July already, you know, Mikey?
No, man, I know. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and there's some wrestling rumors going around about the 4th of July Raw. You know, I don't know if you've heard, Ryra, but I've heard about Kurt Angle possibly coming.
Oh, but wait, hold the phone. Is this Raw live, or is it taped?
No, I believe tonight is a live Monday Night Raw.
Okay, I am not going to believe the rumors until I actually see it, you know?
Yeah, no, I know the same thing, but, I'm from Pittsburgh, Kurt Angle is also from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So, that's my guy. It's true. It's damn true.
Where's Raw at tonight?
I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I follow it. I watch, try to watch every week, but I don't really keep track of where they're at. I'm not sure, but I'm sure it will be a pumped up crowd for the 4th of July, man?
Yeah, too bad it's not in Pittsburgh. That'd be great, huh?
Oh, I'd probably be there, man. The last event that we had was a Raw leading up to WrestleMania this year, and I was in attendance for that. It was really good. It was the first face-to-face confrontation of Shane McMahon and The Undertaker.
Oh, yeah. Okay, first discussion is, what's your thoughts on Adamo Batista? Dave Batista. What's your quick thoughts on the guy?
Oh, my God. Oh, right. That's a great question to ask me, because anyone that knows me in that Road to WrestleMania group knows that I am a huge Batista fan, man. I love Batista. He just radiates spectacle. He's muscles on top of muscles. He's the animal. He's the evolution. I mean, he's one of my favorites. And I was at the Royal Rumble leading up to WrestleMania 30. I was at that Royal Rumble here in Pittsburgh. Watched Dave Batista win the Royal Rumble. And I've been reading all these rumors lately about how he feels kind of slighted by the WWE for his last run. And I can't say I blame him. I don't know why you bring a guy like that back as a baby face, and when Daniel Bryan was as hot as he was, but I love Batista. I think it's cool that he's crossed over into the movies, and Guardians of the Galaxy, big hit. But to me, he's all spectacle, Ryra. He's all money signs and middle fingers, baby. He's the man. I mean, he kind of does what he wants, and I love Batista. What do you think about Batista?
I mean, he's great. Okay, don't get me wrong, but when it came back around WrestleMania 30, it's just the wrong time at the wrong place. You know what I'm saying? Because the original idea was gonna be CM Punk. He bailed, so they put in Batista, and I think that was a stupid idea. I mean, don't get me wrong for him. I know you like the guy, but not the way he came in. You know what I'm saying? Back.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I completely agree. But on the other side of the coin, I think that it was just a bad decision to try to put him in that main event spot at a time that Daniel Bryan was getting so much attention. Daniel Bryan was getting so much love from the fans. Batista just came in and, again, middle fingers to the crowd when he's winning the Royal Rumble that are all chanting for Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
You know, I think that Batista just was never put in that position to get over. They wanted to do anything they could to get, you know, the attention off of Daniel Bryan, but I've always loved Batista. He's a man of spectacle. He shows up in suits and glasses, and I'll never forget. I think my favorite line ever was when he was feuding with John Cena, and he said, I'm not the kind of guy to show up and kiss babies and hug fat chicks, or something like that. He said to John Cena, and I those kind of lines from Batista, man. That's why I love him.
Yeah, but when did you start? You know what? I'll ask you this later in the podcast.
All right.
What's your thoughts on Batista in the movie so far?
You know what? It took me a while to catch Guardians of the Galaxy, but I finally saw it, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, he's not the main star of the movie, but you know, he plays an integral role in that. And I didn't get to see the James Bond movie that he's just in, but I know he was in that as well.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm more invested with Batista as a wrestler, but you know, I think it's cool that he's had the success that he's had in the movie industry too. What do you think about Batista in as an actor?
Well, he's doing good so far, so good, you know. But I think he's gonna make more money as Mr. Hollywood if they push him that well, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just glad that they didn't do. Did you hear the rumors about him coming to fight Brock Lesnar at one point?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I'm not really too thrilled because I could care less about Batista and Brock at this moment because they both over their wrestling career, you know. But that's just maybe in their youth it'd be a great match, but who could care less about the match, you know? Maybe some people, but not me, you know.
I don't know, Ryra. I think that people should care about everything that Brock Lesnar does. I mean, Brock Lesnar is the epitome of you know, what it's like to be on top of an industry to the point where he can control when he wants to go fight UFC. I mean, this guy is the WWE's biggest marketable person, really, outside of John Cena, and he just can jump ship and go have a you know, ultimate fighting match. I think it speaks to, you know, Brock Lesnar just being able to say, I don't really care, and I do what I want. You know, it's guys like Brock and Batista that kind of thrown their wrestling purpose to an extent that I can understand why fans would resent them, you know?
Yes. So, another question is, what's your thoughts on Michelle McCool? Not Michelle McCool, Candice Michelle. Candice, remember her?
Oh, man, yeah, she was just kind of dancing around with not a lot of clothes on, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yes, in that era, yes.
Wow, I haven't no one's asked me about, well, I haven't heard about Candice Michelle in a long time. That's some good journalistic question asking there. I dropped that name from the vault. Yeah, you know, I Candice Michelle came into WWE at a time when the term diva was really appropriate. There was, you know, she didn't have to have much in-ring skill to be over.
Yep.
And, you know, fans were into the sex sells kind of thing. And, you know, Candice Michelle's the perfect example of, you know, sex selling.
Oh, yeah, but I think she's very hot. I still miss the bra and panties matches because, you know, typical guy, but
sure.
Those are way over. And do you think she's a future WWE Women's Hall of Famer?
I would probably say no.
Okay.
Actually, I think that I don't think she ever won the Divas Championship.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she won. Yep.
Oh, really? She was Divas Champion?
Yeah.
I mean, well, I guess if you were a Divas Champion at one point, you know, then yeah, who's right? This in wrestling industry, never knows if Candice Michelle might make another appearance down the line, and it sounds like if Candice Michelle made another appearance that you would be one happy wrestling fanatic.
Yeah, yeah, she's very hot, but I think she had a baby recently.
I'm kidding. I know Trish Stratus had a baby, I think, not long ago, too.
Yeah. Speaking of divas, women's, What's your thoughts on Stacy Keibler? She came a long way. She used to date George Clooney. I don't know if she's still dating him. I doubt it. I think they broke up years ago.
I think they broke up years ago, but I think Stacy Keibler, she actually was a cheerleader for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yes, I was just going to ask you that. Yep.
Yeah, I'm from Pittsburgh, so I hate the Ravens. The Ravens suck. You can out to Jonathan Carbo. I'm sure he would agree with me on that point. But needless to say, Stacey Keibler, I think, was always an attraction. Man, she was so beautiful. She had those long legs, and I think I remember one of the scenes where she put one ankle on both of Vince McMahon's shoulders, and Vince McMahon did that big smile, crazy smile face.
Yes.
That's great, man. I mean, that's awesome. The Vince McMahon faces are great. But Stacy Keibler, I think. Do you remember when she was with Remember when she was with Test, and she said that he should call all of his fans his testicles?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty funny, right?
And the time she was with the Dudley Boys, that was cool too,
Oh, yeah, that's right. She was with the Dudley Boys. Yeah, back before the Dudley Boys are pretty terrible nowadays, but back then they were pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, last but not least with the women's.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Melina? I know she had a little incident with Dave Bautista backstage, making out, have sex, or I don't know if that's really true. Nobody doesn't believe that until you're actually there, and John Morrison, and it's a whole story. So what's your thoughts on her only?
You know what? I have found Melina entertaining. I think that I loved when she debuted with Morrison and Mercury as Eminem. I really liked Eminem. I thought that was a really cool gimmick when they would come out with the red carpet and all the, the paparazzi. And,
yes.
Kind of like how they do with the Miz now,
Yes.
With that LA kind of Hollywood gimmick. But I always found Melina really entertaining. Remember how she used to get up on the ring and do that split?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty intense. To be honest with you, man, at that point, I know that Melina was, she was trying to get better in the ring. I don't even know if Melina is still involved in the wrestling business, but she was one I never was really emotionally invested in as a fan. I did dig her time with Eminem, and I thought Eminem was really a good team. I've always thought John Morrison is one of the most underrated performers, but I think that Melina was, she was good for what she was. She was a valet. She was she was never really the best in-ring worker. I know she was a multi-time Divas champion, but that roster of divas back then was nothing compared to what it is now.
Yeah. And that's not their fault. It's the creators. They're dumbasses. And McMahon too,
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, for a while there, they really shit the bed on the women's division, and they really didn't really give those girls a chance to succeed. In that after Trish and Lita and that generation, and for a while there, you had people like Kelly and I always liked Beth Phoenix. I always thought Beth Phoenix was underrated. They put her in stupid storylines with Santino Marella, and then had her. I did like when they had the team of Beth Phoenix and Natalya. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
But you had Mickie James. Mickie James was pretty good for a while there, but Melina was part of that generation that WWE, I think, really dropped the ball on when it came to the women's division.
Yep. Okay.
I agree with you.
Now, probably you heard rumors about Tajiri is with this cruiserweight thing, and then after that's all done, he's going to resign with WWE full time. I think it could be a good thing, and the other thing is it could be a bad thing. He's 40 plus, he over the hill, okay? The reason I bring
Yeah.
him back because they got the upcoming brand extension. So what's your thoughts on Tajiri coming back to the company full time? I'm assuming.
Well, I wish that if Tajiri comes back full time, I wish that someone would spit some of that green mist into my face, Rai, so I didn't have to watch it.
Yeah.
You know, Tajiri is, and look, I catch a lot of flack in the group because I'm not really into these independent scene, these young up and comers. And one thing that I will say is that I do enjoy a lot of their work, but a lot of these guys don't always have that kind of star power that you need to have like a successful run in the WWE. And I've found that watching NXT, and I actually am kind of digging NXT. I've kind of grown into liking NXT a little bit more, and I understand why some of these guys are so with some of the internet wrestling fans, or wrestling fanatics, and I think that I'm starting to get a little bit of an appreciation. I really did not enjoy AJ Styles at first, and now I really kind of like AJ Styles. But I still listening to him talk, his promos are pretty weak. But when it comes to Tajiri, and I mean, I'm tying this into this NXT kind of cruiserweight classic thing. So I think it's cool that they're bringing back guys like Tajiri and like the Brian Kendrick and stuff like that. But I don't know, Rai. Do you really want a guy like Tajiri? I mean, like, what is he gonna do? What are they gonna put him on SmackDown and he's gonna feud with someone like Rusev and then be done? I mean, if they're gonna bring back old time guys, well, not even old time guys, like past guys, I would look more at like Kurt Angle because he's a name, and I would look at more at guys like Shelton Benjamin because he's still really talented in the ring, or John Morrison. That's another one, but I don't know. I don't really think that Tajiri is a good choice to bring back full time. And so, like I said, I would hope that if he is signed full time after this Cruiserweight Classic, that someone would spit some green mist in my eyes, so that I wouldn't have to watch Tajiri wrestle full time anymore.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's good in his prime, but I don't think that we should bring back always 40-plus veterans. Though I told you before, or I mentioned in my other podcast, they just want to balance up the roster. But we'll see what happens in the long run, Mike.
Yeah, the draft should be interesting, man. I think that it will, prove. Everybody keeps saying that WWE has their deepest talent pool that they've ever had right now, and I guess they're going to put that to the test.
Yes.
And we'll see how it shakes out. I do think that they have a very deep talent pool, but you look at it right now, Rai, like without the draft and exclusiveness, like look at like Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler has been stuck in a meaningless program with Baron Corbin for the last 3 months that no one cares about.
Nope.
And if they split up the brands, then, and I'm sure Jennifer Devereaux will be very happy to hear me say this, that if they split up the brands, that maybe it gives Dolph Ziggler a better chance to succeed. No?
Yeah, I like Dolph, but we'll see what happens in the long run. It sucks for him, but he should become champion more often, not just that one-time deal,
Oh, yeah. You know what? You bet Jennifer Devereaux that you think Dolph should become champion, because
probably she doesn't believe.
She loves Dolph Ziggler. So maybe you and Jen can catch up at next WrestleMania, and you guys, we can I'll sit across the table and we can argue about Dolph Ziggler.
Oh God. But she might give me a stunner.
She might give me a stunner too, man. I would be I'd have to we'd have to be on alert. She might do like Seth Rollins and hit us in the back with a steel chair,
Or she might. I know she's a Dolphin fan, so I gotta give her some crap on that one,
Oh well, you know what, Rai. And I know this is a wrestling podcast, so just wrestling fanatics, I apologize for this line, but Jen should be thanking her lucky stars for Pittsburgh, Rai, because Pittsburgh gave her Dan Marino. Dan Marino is from Pittsburgh, and without Dan Marino, there is no Dolphins. You know what I mean?
Well, they never got to the Super Bowl. They always lose,
Oh, exactly.
let me rephrase that.
We're gonna get some stunners. Okay, ask me more questions about Tajiri. Let's go.
Yeah. The Dolphins will win the Super Bowl, but not before the Bears. Jennifer, sorry. Okay.
If the Bears are gonna win a Super Bowl, you better get rid of Jake Cutler.
We'll see what happens in the long run. Okay, back to wrestling. Sorry, wrestling fanatics. Probably you guys are a little upset.
Yeah, sorry, wrestling fanatics.
Okay.
No, don't get upset, wrestling fanatics.
Yeah, don't unsubscribe to this channel, please don't.
No, get more subscribers. Tell your friends about Team Ryry.
Yeah, I know I need more, but ain't working. Okay, another thing is, you know about the whole Jerry the King Lawler, right? The whole incident.
Yeah, the domestic abuse thing with.
Yeah.
His,
now I'm hearing that W is lifting up his suspension. What the hell? W can make their damn minds.
Oh, here's my solution, right. How about we put Jerry the King Lawler in the ring with his girlfriend?
Yeah.
And then he can beat her up whenever he wants, right? No. I'm kidding.
No, this is just my theory. He needs to retire. I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for this. I like to see some young guy like the guy from NXT or the guy from SmackDown take over the role, and because he's saying some stupid shit lately, you know.
Yeah, he is. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
I've actually thought for years now that Jerry Lawler has been the most overrated person. And God bless him. I think Jerry Lawler should have just retired when he had his heart attack.
Yeah.
When he had that heart attack, I thought for sure. And he's a glory hog. He sits there in his personalized T-shirts, and he spouts off a couple stupid lines. And that new guy that they got on SmackDown, that Mario Ronaldo. Now I don't watch a lot of SmackDown, but I've seen some replays and stuff. And Mario Ronaldo seems to be one hell of an announcer. I thought he did a great job. I think he called one of the specials on the WWE Network. And you know what? I think too that Michael Cole, when he's on the WWE Network, like when they did that Beast from the East pay-per-view last year on July 4th, I thought Michael Cole was fantastic. But yeah, Lawler is, and he's, this isn't his first trouble he's gotten into, I think, with domestic abuse with his girlfriends. And Lawler is a glory hog, and I think I share your opinion, right? I'm sorry if I'm offending some of the wrestling fanatics out there, but I think Jerry Lawler needs to step away and retire.
Yep. Well, there's a lot of wrestling wrestlers, announcers, but for some reason they love that spotlight. They like that wrestling paycheck, WrestleMania paycheck. They can't stay away, you know.
Hey, I can't blame him, right? If you or I ever got a WrestleMania paycheck, that we wouldn't want to stay away either.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, the last discussion, and I'll have more discussion. Now, Mick Foley, I'm not too sure. Wait, before I go to the last discussion, do you have the W Network?
I do. I enjoy the WWE Network. Do you have the WWE Network?
Yeah. Now, probably saw commercials on Raw, SmackDown, the upcoming previews that Mick Foley and his daughter is going to have a reality show. What's your thoughts on that? Are you looking forward to that, or you could care less on that?
Well, have you taken a look at Noelle Foley, man? She is one good-looking young lady.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, I don't. It was Mr. Sacco.
Yeah.
But you know what? Good for Mick. Mick Foley put his body on the line for a long time, and I think that I read an article that he's been doing that DDP yoga.
Yes.
And that's how he got into shape to. And what a moment that was at WrestleMania, this last WrestleMania, when he came out with Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold, and they came down to the ring and kicked some ass of League of Nations. I thought that was a really cool moment, and I think that Mick Foley, I'm glad for him because it gives him, something to do, because this is a guy that gave his life to the industry, and I'm happy that WWE has found things for him that he can do to, still earn a living. Like this Holy Full show, and he did that comedy special, Cheap Pops, and he comes around during Christmas time and does the Santa thing, because I know he's really into Santa, but I might check it out. I watched Legends House when that used to be on back on the WWE Network, and I found that really entertaining. And so yeah, I might check out Holy Fully. I didn't like that Camp WWE, but I think sometimes their programming on there, they do a lot of awesome documentaries.
Oh yeah.
As well.
Yeah, some things are
but
some things are the network for kids, and some things are for adults. I think the network is the best thing that we ever had, but some people don't like it because a lot of lagging. Do you have a lot of lagging on your neck of the woods for the network?
You know what, I used to when I did it on my computer, but when I use it on my Xbox One, I don't really have much lagging.
Okay.
And I love it too. I agree with you. I think for $10 a month, to not have to worry about ordering a $60 pay-per-view, and it gives you a chance to kind of go back and watch some of those moments that made you love wrestling in the first place. I was a big Shawn Michaels fan when I was a kid. He was my favorite. And I can go back on the WWE Network and watch, some of my favorite Shawn Michaels moments. But yeah, I think that it's really cool that something like that allows like Mick Foley to, continue to have a chance to, keep within the wrestling business, a business that he gave so much to. What about you? You gonna watch some Holy Foley?
Yeah, eventually I will. I still gotta watch that Austin podcast with him and AJ Styles. Do you watch Austin podcast or listen to him on his other podcast when you download them, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I do watch the Austin podcast. I've always liked Austin. I can honestly say that there was never a time where Austin was my favorite wrestler. Now I always liked Austin. But I know that some people, like some of my best friends, like I know Jennifer mentioned on your last podcast that Austin was her favorite.
Yeah.
And, I know John Carbo loves Austin. I was always a Shawn Michaels guy. Always was a Shawn Michaels guy. And, but I think it's really cool that Austin has gotten into the world of podcasts and they've been such a success. And I think that they're such a success because Austin doesn't hold back, He asks the questions that, people want to know the answers to, and he's not afraid of, Vince McMahon or Triple H or anything like that.
Yeah, because technically he doesn't work for WWE, that's why.
Exactly. Well, plus he'll just, he'll kick Vince right in the groin and give him another stunner like the old times.
Yeah, I know I asked Jennifer this question, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you hate... Yeah. Do you hate Raw when it's 3 hours still, or you got over it by now?
You know what, Ryra, I'll be honest with you. I think that with them doing the draft and making it 2 exclusive shows, that this is their chance to make it 2 hours. I get that why it's 3 hours right now, because you have so much talent that you're looking for things for them to do and a way to get everybody on the show. But if you move talent to another show, then maybe you can focus more. I get why they do it. They make a lot of money off that third hour of TV. But man, sometimes those Raw shows can be great. They're 3 hours of continuous entertainment. But sometimes, you probably know, Rai, they can drag. So I think that it's something they should explore to go back to 2 hours. But I don't think they ever will. What are your feelings on that?
I agree with you, but I don't think it's going to happen either because USA is paying WWE a lot of money to be on air still,
Yeah. They're like that, they're saying, show me the money, right?
Yeah, I think that's kind of stupid because most of the stuff on Raw and SmackDown is dead air, and that's ridiculous, like stuff nobody doesn't give a damn,
Yeah, like Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, stupid. I mean, I like, Dolph could do way better, and the other guy could do way better, but that's WWE for you,
Everybody seems to be making fun of Baron Corbin because he's got some they say you can see a face in his stomach, and I think it's hilarious. I've not paid enough attention to it, but yeah, there's definitely some guys and some people that could be doing better, and I know that in your podcast with Jennifer you mentioned Bray Wyatt, and I am a big Bray Wyatt fan. I think that Bray Wyatt is a ton of untapped potential, and I think that maybe this split and this draft will be great for people like Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, we'll see. How many pay-per-views or have you been to any how many pay-per-views have you been so far?
Oh wow.
If you
All right,
could,
well, as go ahead.
go ahead. I mean, if you could think of off the top of your head.
Yeah. So as a kid, I was at the King of the Ring pay-per-view when The Undertaker threw Mankind off.
Oh wow, you went to that one. Cool.
Yeah, that was in Pittsburgh at the Civic Arena. I also I wasn't there. I was a little too young for it, but Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon was in Pittsburgh for the second ladder match.
Oh yeah, SummerSlam, yeah.
Yeah, SummerSlam. I've been to two Royal Rumbles with with my friends from the Road to WrestleMania group. We went to one in Philadelphia where we had a luxury box, and we also went to the one in Pittsburgh. Those were great. We had a blast. I've been to WrestleMania. I went to WrestleMania 28 and WrestleMania 29, and I'm hoping to get to WrestleMania 33. I think that's going to be an awesome venue in Orlando. I think it's really cool because you can go to Disney and you can go to all that stuff around the area for the week. So hopefully I can make that happen. But I've been to quite a few. I've been to I think WWE had there was like a No Way Out in Pittsburgh that I went to. I was at a SmackDown in Pittsburgh when Edge cashed in his Money in the Bank on The Undertaker.
Oh wow,
which was really cool. Yeah, I was actually in the camera shot. If you can find it on the WWE Network, the Edge gets up on the apron, and I'm bowing to him in my. I was wearing the shirt because DX was popular then, and it said Vince likes, and there was a picture of a rooster, for Vince likes cock.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Yeah, those are good old days.
Yeah. I'm standing there bowing to Edge as he wins. But we had I think there was one called I think there was an Armageddon there the one year. It was Shawn Michaels versus Mr. Kennedy, and it was you know what? It was Armageddon. It was when Chris Jericho returned and was facing Randy Orton for the championship. I've been to a couple. I actually was at pay-per-view in it was Night of Champions in Houston when Chris Benoit murdered his family. I was at that pay-per-view. It was supposed to be CM Punk versus Chris Benoit for, I think it was the ECW Championship.
Yes.
And Benoit didn't show up. They put John Morrison in the match, and he won. and we found out on the plane what had happened. But I was in Houston for that. I traveled with a couple friends to go see that. I was at the Survivor Series. With Team DX versus Team Rated RKO.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I went to a SummerSlam in Boston, the one with Hulk Hogan versus Randy Orton.
Wow.
I was at that. Yeah, it was that SummerSlam, which was kind of cool. But I think my favorite of all time was WrestleMania 28. That was my first WrestleMania. It was amazing. You had The Rock and Cena, and you had Hell in a Cell with The Undertaker and Triple H with Shawn Michaels involved. And, I also got to meet all kinds of people from the Road to WrestleMania group. And that group is really cool. And one thing that, I'll speak about real quick to your wrestling fanatics is thank you that you're wrestling fanatics, because you get to meet people from all over the world. And it's something that, everybody in sports and everything likes different people and different things, but in wrestling, you can almost always find a common one. And so it's really cool. But yeah, I've attended quite a few. What about you? What's your favorite event that you've ever been to for WWE?
Well, I've been to a lot of them. 20, when Chris Benoit won the Triple Threat match, when Seth Rollins
with Shawn and Hunter, huh?
Yeah, when Seth Rollins cashed in at 31, Backlash 01, Shane O'Mac came off the scaffold or whatever they call it. So
yeah.
And there's a lot of great moments, and I mean I still go to pay-per-views, but it's not as good like the old days of Money in the Bank 2011.
Oh yeah, you were there for the CM Punk and Cena match. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great atmosphere.
I was with my dad,
So
and
crazy.
yeah, them tickets are so expensive. Jesus, just for an average pay-per-view. God dang,
Oh, I think we paid. Me and Chris Ward and John Carlo went together for WrestleMania 29 up in New York, and I want to say our tickets were like almost $300 a piece. And we were in like the 100 section. We were actually right above where the Shield came through the stands. But
Oh, by the way,
yeah,
Oh, sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
no, you're the host, right? You get to talk first.
Anyway, my dad and myself went to Indianapolis, Indiana, and we went to Sriracha to release the debut of the Shield. That was a great moment.
Oh, no kidding. Wow, yeah, that's really cool that you were there for that when they took care of business and beat the hell out of Ryman.
Yeah, I thought it was just regular guys. I said, who the hell are you guys? Because I don't watch NXT, not too often. I just watch it whenever I feel like it. And then,
Yeah.
and I said, holy shit, 3 new guys, and then the rest is history, and that's the bottom line because Rai said so,
Well, one thing that I think your wrestling fanatics will get a kick out of is I've been told that I do a really good Rai impression.
Go for it.
Alright, so hey there, wrestling fanatics. This is Rai. Gonna do crazy cool, talk about WWE and or stuff like that. And I was there for the debut of Shield with 3 regular guys, and and then they became wrestling fanatics. So see, I do a pretty good Rai.
Okay, I give you some credit.
Well, everybody's favorite impression that I do is, remember John Laurinaitis?
Yes.
Yeah. So I've been told that I do a really, really good John Laurinaitis now. People power, Rai. You gotta have the people power.
Now that sounds good.
Funny story about that. I was at WrestleMania 28, and I was outside of a hotel, and John Laurinaitis got out of a car, and that's where all the superstars were staying. And he was about to go into the hotel, and I went, "Excuse me." And he came over and shook my hand and talked to me for about 10 minutes. And then about a half an hour later, CM Punk came out of a car, and he was feuding with John Laurinaitis at the time. And he was walking into the hotel, and I went, "You know what, Punk? You're just walking away because you know that John Laurinaitis and People Power are better than you." And CM Punk actually came over and was laughing with me and took a picture with me and my friends that night.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, isn't that cool? That's, as Rai says, too freaking sweet.
Okay, everyone. I hope tonight will be a good show on Raw. I know tonight, or today, the 4th of July, a lot of people are gonna party like a freaking rock star, or actually they did it this weekend because a lot of people gotta go back to work or whatever. I'm gonna watch Raw regardless if it's a good show or not a good show,
Yeah, me too. And I have to be at work tomorrow too, which sucks. But yeah, so I think it's pretty cool. But hey, Rai, just because I'm like Roddy Piper, and just when you think you have the answers, I change the questions. I got a question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
What are you looking forward to in the draft? Who do you think is going to be the new face of SmackDown?
I say Roman. I think Roman's gonna. I think John Cena's going to SmackDown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But how would they get ratings? Because nobody can see John Cena.
Oh, funny. And I think on Raw, I think Roman's gonna do it. I know that's sad to say, but Roman's gonna do it, or maybe Seth's gonna be in charge. I don't know.
So you're not a big fan of Dean Ambrose as champion?
I am, but I don't think that he has a lot of faith in him. That's how I'm hearing reports.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I think Dean Ambrose is great, but for a while there, on the microphone he's great. But in the ring, I hate that spinning clothesline that he does, Rai. It is the worst thing I've ever seen. Those guys, they just stand there and they wobble around while he spins and twirls and dives through the ropes, and then he hits them with a clothesline. I think it's ridiculous. I think it looks terrible. What do you?
I think it looks cool, but after all, it just gets played out, you know?
Oh, I think it's terrible. And you know Chuck Flamini in the group?
Yes, I know him.
Yeah, he calls that Exhibit A on my Dean Ambrose is an asshole.
But you don't like him?
And you know, no, I don't. I mean, I think he's overrated, right? I mean, I think he has really good promo skills. He can talk on the microphone. He's very good. But I just in the ring, he's very average to me. I think that you know, as Chris Jericho says, he's a stupid idiot. I think he's a stupid idiot when he does that stupid spinning clothesline. I don't know, man. I just don't know if I see it there yet with him. But I thought they were going to put the belt back on Seth Rollins, and I think Seth Rollins is exceptional. I love Seth Rollins. I love Brock Lesnar. You know, I'm into. I liked the New Day at first, but man, am I burned out on them? I think that they've really run their course. I like Bray Wyatt a lot. I love The Miz right now. I think The Miz is absolutely fantastic in this new gimmick. I'm digging Kevin Owens. I'm digging Sami Zayn. What about you? Who are some of these new people that WWE has brought in that you think are that have potential to make it as big stars, like Batista?
Well, I say I'm gonna be the biggest star of all of them. So shut your mouth and let's end this thing.
teamryry.
I'm kidding.
No, Rai, you are. Listen, man, you are a star. Don't even let it fool you, man. People, you know, people in our group, we all listen to your podcast, and you know, I think that it's really cool that you do a podcast for the wrestling fanatics, and that you have like a following, and you know, I think that you could be the WWE champion.
Okay. I wish. I'm like Spike Dudley, that skinny, you know.
Hey, you can call Candice Michelle. She can be your valet, your manager.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
No, come on, Rai. You gotta say it'd be too freaking sweet.
Okay, hold on. Let me say it. This will be too damn sweet.
See, that could be like your catchphrase. That could be your catchphrase as WWE champion. You could come out and say, everybody's watching now because of all my wrestling fanatics, and it's too freaking sweet.
Okay, so I hope it's gonna be a good show tonight on Raw, but I don't know. How many weeks into the draft, Mike? 2 weeks?
Yeah, what is it? The second week of July or something like that, right?
Yeah,
middle of July for the draft.
I think so. 2 more weeks.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not too far away, man. Not too far away at all.
Yep. That's it. Yep.
But what? Come on, Rai. I know you got any more questions in your arsenal for me, a wrestling fanatic.
Do you have any wrestling merchandise at the house, or not really?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I don't wear as much as I used to, but I actually was just wearing my Brock Lesnar Beast Incarnate shirt the other day.
Sweet.
I've been going to the gym a little bit more, so I wear my Eat, Sleep, Repeat merchandise. I bought that Eat, Sleep, Conquer, Repeat. And I have a couple old Shawn Michaels shirts. I got some WrestleMania merchandise from the years that I was at those two events. And I've actually got a bunch of like custom-made posters that I made whenever I went to WrestleMania. I have stuff. I have one, a poster that I made of a picture with, remember before the Iron Man match with Brett and Shawn Michaels, and it was Brett and Shawn Michaels and Earl Hebner was the referee. So I have a picture of them staring each other down, and I got it signed by Brett, by Shawn, and by Earl Hebner.
Cool. Do you have any championship belts, like a replica, hanging up in your room?
I've got some stuff. I actually just moved into a new apartment a little bit ago, so I have to. I haven't gotten around to hanging much stuff up on the walls, but I've got to decorate this and kind of show a little bit of my love for wrestling. I do love it. I don't think it's as good as it once was, but I have respect for guys like John Cena. I think John Cena has really gotten a lot better in the ring. And I hope that one day they turn. What do you think do you think they'll ever turn John Cena as a heel?
Oh God, that's a billion question that everybody's been asking on Twitter and social media overall. If it's not gonna happen, it's never gonna happen.
But what do you think? Do you think it will happen at some point?
I wish, but I don't know. Hard
I
again.
think if it happens, it'll be historic, man. It'll be absolutely historic when it happens.
Yeah, but you know what? They're gonna turn Roman heel over John Cena. Probably watch.
Yeah, probably.
And that's sad.
About that.
That's so sad. John Cena been a company longer, and they can't turn heel. They can't turn heel. They can't make John Cena heel, but they could make Roman heel. Go figure,
Yeah. So what about, I know you mentioned Tajiri, earlier, and I brought up Kurt Angle. It could bring back, one guy, or, from the past that could still wrestle. Who would you bring back?
HBK, if he's healthy enough, and, but that's never going to happen anymore,
Yeah, but Sean definitely still kicks some ass, man.
Yeah.
Hey, his finisher is called the Too Freaking Sweet Chin Music.
Too sweet!
There you go, buddy. But no, you have anything else that you got lined up to ask me? I'm an open book, man. I'm an open book. I'm a wrestling fanatic.
Okay, I got one more question.
Whatever.
I got one more question. I got one more question before we end this. Do you play any wrestling video games in the past or recently?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't. I did not get WWE 2K16, but before that, I had. Oh man, I could go way back. I remember. I think it was WWF Warzone for my PlayStation 1, and I used to laugh because every time I would be like Mankind and I would punch somebody, it would do that same noise that Mick Foley made in the ring. He'd be like, "Racha, Racha," every time he hit somebody.
Oh yeah.
And love that. I think that was the game too, where you would be about to face Stone Cold, and he would come up on the screen and be like, "You think you can beat me?" And they cut a promo on you. That was really cool. But yeah, definitely, man. I play when it comes to video games. I'm mostly I play NHL a lot. I buy NHL every year, and I usually buy Madden every year. But I do want to check out WWE 2K17 because I saw my boy Brock Lesnar is on the cover.
Yep. I cannot wait for
you, man?
What? Yeah, I play some wrestling games, but I try to cut back because it's the same old thing. The only thing that's different about it is the roster,
Well, yeah, but I guess that's the same as a sports game, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think that they can, improvise. I used to love. Do you ever play the older games when they have the Be a GM mode?
Yes.
And you could write your own show and how you want to be as champion, and it would give you ratings and stuff like that. Guys would want bigger pushes, and I thought that was really, really cool. Because one thing I always do when I have Madden is I kind of create my own franchise, and that's kind of how that was for WWE games, and I thought it sucked that they got rid of that. Me and my friends used to play it a lot, and we would have to come up with matchups and stuff like that. And the sad part is too, the older you get, the less video games you play.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
I'm 30 now, so I try to have some time for video games, but life comes calling and work and so you try to make some time for video games and but yeah, I'd love to get back into the WWE games. I just I haven't played them I haven't owned one in probably about 2 years, but I did play some of 2K15, but not 2K16, and I thought I liked it. Do you remember what your favorite? So I think my favorite of all time was that Warzone one. Do you remember what your favorite one was?
Not off my top of my head, Mike.
No. Yeah, but you still play every once in a while. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, are you planning to go to WrestleMania 33?
I hope.
Well, if you do, we should do a live podcast from WrestleMania.
Well, you gotta go to my place, or I gotta go to your place.
Well, we could do a WrestleMania roundtable. How cool would that be? We could have we could have like Jennifer in there, and maybe at the end of the podcast you have with Jennifer, she started calling out people to come on your show, and I think one person that really wants to come on is Michael Unsworth. Do you ever talk to him?
I don't know. Well, go ahead and call him out. Go for it.
Yeah, Michael Unsworth, you need to come on this show. Jonathan Carbo would be great on this show. And I think Chuck Flamini. is he's that kind of guy, man. He would be a great interview for you, Rai. I think he would be a wonderful interview. But I thought Jen did a great job, and I think you do a good job as a host. So, if you ever want me back on, you can come up with some more wrestling related questions. We can do a sports one too. Yeah, man, I'll definitely do another interview. Sorry it took us a while to plan it, but hopefully the wrestling fanatics enjoyed this, and there's definitely some more people in the Road to WrestleMania group that I think could give you a great interview. Scott Lesh, I think.
Oh yeah.
O'Halloran.
Yes.
So I'll put in a good word.
Hey, what about
with some of those.
Hey, do you know a girl named Mandy?
Mandy in the group, Mandy AP.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk to Mandy, see if I can get her on to come on the show?
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. What would you want to talk with Mandy about?
Wrestling, and I'll tell you off the podcast because I don't want to go too longer. So go ahead, tell your viewers goodbye and all that social media. I don't want.
Right. Right. You're keeping the podcast PG. I get it. No, we'll talk. Mandy and I've never met Mandy, but she's really, really cool. She is taking her kids to hang out with my buddy Chris Ward and his boy Lennon. So she's good people. She's a Golden State Warriors fan. So she's probably happy today that they got Kevin Durant.
Yes.
But, yeah, go ahead, Rai. Do your closing, and like I said, man, you can have me back anytime you want. I hope it was a good interview for you, man.
Hey, anytime. Okay, here it is. If you like this podcast, episode number 47, give this thing a like, give this thing some awesome comments, and last but not least, subscribe to this thing. I do other things besides podcasts, my wrestling fanatics. Okay, my guests, go ahead and plug your channel one more time, or whatever you gotta do, your social media.
Yeah, man. So my name's Mike. You can find me on Facebook. I believe it's facebook.com/MikeOD86. But it's Mike O'Donnell, O''Donnell, if you want to check me out. But don't look me up on social media, you guys. Look up Rai on social media. Get this guy some listens. Get this guy some shares. Tell your friends, the other wrestling fanatics out there, to give Rai a listen. He really tries hard to plug this show and does a great job. And I want nothing but the best, Rai. I'll definitely come on your sports show sometime. We'll talk some sports. I know you're a Chicago fan, so we'll definitely talk about that. And, but yeah, man, anytime you want to talk wrestling, I'll be around. And I had a great time being on the show.
Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye, my viewers. You want to go?
Wait. We gotta have Rai do one more too freaking sweet.
Okay, here it is. Just too sweet.
All right, that's the way you end a podcast right there.
Okay, goodbye, everybody. Adios.